Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're having good luck with your gardening and all of your projects. And without further ado, let's get to today's project. It was a big one and it's powerful. So here we go. We're over at Mom and Dad's house. They just built this beautiful new shop and it's off-grid. So Dad and I built this amazing solar array. It is, I think, 4,500 watts. It is all steel construction. That is all 1.5 inch steel pipe, 1/8 inch wall. And if you're wondering what all these wires are, when you buy solar panels, they come with about 3 foot of extra wire on every panel. So I cut all those off and put new connectors on. And then I hid all the wiring inside the frame, so there's no wiring hanging out anywhere. Just connections that go from positive to negative to put the panels in parallel. The bugs will stop flying in my eyes. And these are all concreted in the ground about 2 feet, give or take, about 1.5 feet wide. So it's about 10 feet tall or so up here at the tallest point. And then we use this conduit. I forget what they call this channel stuff. That is what we use for our horizontals, and that's what's welded to the steel pipes. And then the solar panels are bolted to that with giant washers. And they got these special bolts. I don't know if you can see them in there. They have springs on them. It locks onto that channel. And then you got a bolt in the washer all the way across. And he built this shed. I didn't build it. All I did was the wiring and the computer stuff. I built all this in here. We wired this all up. We got our combiner box. We got our inverter. We got our conduit box, our battery, and everything's wired up to the shop. This switch right here is grid power, so we have the option to put grid power to this and charge the battery if something weird happens. But I don't think we're going to need that. We got our lightning protection. Both blue lights on. That indicates that it is working. When those blue lights are off, it's time to replace that unit. It's about $100, give or take, depending on market. We did concrete board all along the back side. Take that down. It's all attached to the wall. The inverter is attached at the top and the bottom. You can't see it. But it is screwed to the wall back there. And we got our box there, cleaned everything up, and we got heavy gauge wire going to everything else. Dug our trench, so our PV wire is up here. If you're sneaky, you can see it. It is zip tied to the inside of this post, so you can't see it from anywhere except for underneath. And that goes down into this conduit. That is 1.5 inch, and that goes underground a couple feet. Goes all the way over here into that box, and then from there comes out of the wall right here, and then that goes into our combiner box right there. So we can close this up. We don't need it. And I put washers on the bottom sets of screws behind the combiner box. That way when you open the door, it swings out and it's easy to get to. Otherwise you have to fight it, and that was a pain in the butt. But everything else turned out great. Everything's functional. We got our main breaker box out here that goes to the shop and then to the RV, and that's in here. So we got our main power inputs right here. Goes to this monster breaker. We got 240 volts. So this is pretty awesome. These were just the old connections to the grid. So that went from this breaker to here. This is the grid power. It is off right now because we don't need it. And these are the 2 wires that go to the inverter. We got all of our grounds, our neutrals all done. And there we go. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, pop those in down below. Give us a thumbs up. And as always, keep building and try to be good to each other, because some of us aren't here for very long, and a little bit of kindness will go a long ways. So God bless you all, and peace. Look at this weather. Perfect day for a new solar system. Amen.